Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Wayne Parenta. So in today's lesson, on this instrumental, this is just my own version of this. So I've, kind of improvised here and there, and hopefully you guys enjoy what I made today. Now, if you guys want to get the backing track, I'll leave a link below. Now, the backing track, I play any bass and any rhythm guitar on here, and I have a live drummer playing along. So if you want to grab that, just look below to this video and you'll see it. Now, hopefully you guys will like and subscribe to this video because I'm going to have a lot more of this kind of stuff coming out. But anyway, enjoy. Honky Tonk. Okay, we're in the key of E. So it goes from an E to an A, back to E twice. And then it goes to a B, A, E. Turn around to B. Okay, so E, A twice. So here's the main rhythm that I'm playing over that. So we have first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret. And then on the right hand, I'm picking the 6th string and the 5th string. So 6 and 5 on the right hand. And we're just picking down. And you want to leave your first finger down. And if you're new to this, it might be a good idea just to sit in one spot and do this over and over. And don't worry about changing, the chords. Just start out slow here. And then slowly try to speed up. Okay, so now the actual song, you would hit it twice with your 2nd or 3rd finger here. So you go twice in E. We're going to move one string down and play it twice again. Back up to E. Now you stay for 4. Back down to A for 4. Back up to E. For another 4. Now we're going to go to B. So instead of going to this B right here, I like to play it down here on the 7th fret with your first finger. A. E. Turn around. I'll play here on the 4th fret. Open A. Or you could use power chords here. So you could go single notes. Or now this part here on the B, you're just playing your B power chord. Now instead of playing it with my 1st and 3rd finger and stretching with my pinky there, I like to use my 2nd finger, and it just opens your hand up more, and it's easy for you to grab that last note with your pinky. So if you're new to this also, let me explain this. So you're going to play 7th fret, 9th fret on the 5th string with your 2nd or 3rd finger, whatever you feel comfortable with. So you have your little power chord. And now we're going to stretch with our pinky to the 11th fret on the 5th string. So that's our B. We're going to slide 2 frets to A on the 5th fret with our first finger. Here we're on the dots. So you do these ones twice with your pinky. Now coming back to E, you could simply go again with the normal what you started with, which was for 2, but I like to do a little slide here, so I'll go open E, slide. So I'm just basically sliding into that, to the note here instead of just picking it. And I'll just use my first finger. Okay, so to sum it up really fast, you go E twice, A twice, E 4 times, A 4 times, back up to E4, to B2, A 2 times, E 2 times, and turn around. Now only one other thing, that's maybe a good way to start it, but what I like to do is after I do the 2s, E twice, A twice, when I come up and do the 4s on the E and the A, When I switch, right before I switch, I like to add my pinky on the 5th fret here to go to switch to the next chord. So coming up, let's see, let's just take it from the 4 on the E. So you'd have 1, 2, 3. I'll add that one in when I'm going to switch. And then same thing on A. But I don't do that off the start on the 2s because you don't really have time to do that. So let me just play you that version here. Okay, so 2s first, which are normal. And then you're ending on the 3rd finger. Now we're at the A. I like to put a nice little slide in there. Because it kind of goes with this slide. Okay, here's the start of the solo. We're playing on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and we're going to do a little hammer on here with 2 notes. So we're going to pick once and do 2 hammer-ons besides it. So 4th fret, 3rd string. So we got 4, 5, and 6. And now where your 2nd finger is, we're going to hit that note right there, this E, on the 2nd string. Okay, and we're going to hit this one twice. If you're having trouble doing this little hammer on, you know, I guess you could just pick that if you want. So that's totally up to you, but that's what I'm playing. I'm just doing a picking once, but making 3 sounds. Then we're going to go to the 7th fret on the same string and do a slide, or a slide off if you want to call that. So we have coming back to that note that we slid off, bend it, and come back to our E. Now take your 3rd finger, go to the 3rd string, between the dots if you want to call it, on the 6th fret, bend that one, go to your 1st finger. Now do another hammer on the next string above, from 5 to 6. Then add our pinky up on the B note, 7th fret, 6th string. So slowly from the beginning. Come back to that note, bend it. Go between the dots. Do our little hammer on. So we're going to play that exactly the same twice. So this is just my little version that I came up with, where I could play everything just all in one spot. I don't have to move anywhere. And for you guys that play in the key of F, you can just move this and you can do exactly what I'm doing because there's no open strings in this. Okay, so let's take a look at the next part here. Now after that we're going to go to the B. Now let me go over this a little bit of the variations that we can do. So we're playing our little B chord. sliding to A. So now off of your B, which is like your F, slid down to the 7th fret with your first finger. We're only going to play the first, off your B chord, we're only going to play the first string and the 3rd string. So we're skipping the 2nd string. So then you don't really have to bar that if you don't want to. You can just play those 2 notes on the 1st and 3rd string. And then we're going to pick between those. Now I go pick and finger. So I pick on the 3rd string and I just pluck it upwards on the 1st string. If you're not good at hybrid picking, you can just go in there with your guitar pick. You know, same thing. So again, this is going from your B to your A. So you simply could do that every time. Now you can also put a little lead into that, or a little run. Okay, so let me slow that down. So off your B chord, it would be the note of, that you're holding with your 3rd finger. You could do another little hammer on here, 2-note hammer on, or you can pick all these. Totally up to you, but these are the notes you're playing. Now I like to go on this note here with my pinky, because then I can reach these notes here without moving my hand and just doing one little slide. Now if you want, you could just use your 3rd finger since it's already there, and then move your 1st finger. But those are the notes right there, so there, 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 there. So that's your little lead in to your B part. Now you simply could just do that, or you could take it further and you can repeat that 2 frets here in A. So just move to A and do the same thing. So you can just move that 2 frets and do this exactly the same thing. So it would sound like this. Okay, so, or you can just do it once. But the only difference is that you're going to pick this, you know, more or less depending on what version you do, because you don't have time to sit there and pick that more in each chord. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're just going to go the simple version, well, you have time between the B and A to sit there and pick that more. But as soon as you go through on that little run, well, you're using up half your time before you go to A. So then when you go to this part, you got to play that less. So you would go, you see? I'm only hitting there, there, and back. That's it, and then I'm moving. So. Versus. So whatever you want, you know, you could throw the little run in here and there, or you could just do a little run here each time, or you can totally skip the run and just go. Now, the other option is you can play a little minor chord. It'd be like your D minor, with your first finger slid down to the 7th fret. So we can think of this as our B chord if you want. And then do that again. So that's your B. Then this would be played over your A. Okay, so you have three different options. You can simply go, or you can go with the run, and you can stop there, or you can take it further. You might be thinking, whoa, F, but yes, that'll actually fit through there. Okay, or the last one you can do is just your little minor chord with your first finger on the 7th fret. And then sliding that again. Okay, and then you can kind of come up with a little strum in there to kind of make it a little, I don't know, jazzy sounding, I guess. Now the next part, so coming from your B, let's go over the little E part here, okay? So we're going to start here. Now I'll play this two different ways. So my first way is like this. So I do that little riff twice. So we start here. Now we go right into, keep your first finger down on the 2nd string here. Do that twice. Come back to your 2nd finger, slide to the 2nd fret, open. Now do our little turnaround. Now most of the times I won't hit the open, I'll just go right to the close, 1 and 2, 1st and 2nd fret. So slowly again. Or I like to start the same way, and I'll do a little hammer on here between these two notes. And you want to make sure you get that little slide in there going from 4 to 2. Okay, so starting that one again. Okay, that one again. Play that one coming from the B. Let's see, I'll do the little jazzy one. You know, you got to play that whole riff quite fast in here, so you know, like I said, I'll change it up twice. I'll do 2 different versions of that. Now, on this version, if you want to get even fancier, you could go, when you're doing the hammer on here, you could hit your open E string also. Okay, so that's just picking it. And what I'll do sometime is I'll pick that open or pluck that open string, the open E, with my finger, second finger, and get the twinning sound going that way. But what I'll do is I'll keep that E string ringing as I play the rest of the riff. So it sounds like this. So totally up to you if you want to do that, or if you just want to pick the whole thing and leave that open E string out. Now, if you don't like any of this, well, you know what? Feel free to make up your own little riff. And that's basically what I'm doing here. Again, this is my version of the song, so I've just made that little riff up to fit through the change. You can make whatever you want out of your little E blues scale. If you know, want to do an easier version and make something up that you like. Now, the next riff here, we're playing with our first finger, 4th fret, 1st string, and we have our 2nd finger here, so we have, and then now our 3rd finger is over here on the 3rd string. Okay, so we have our little chord, and now we're going to move off of that chord to our 1st finger. We're going to move it 1 fret to the 3rd fret, so we're going 4 to 3. Now, I will play this with pick and finger and go. So the picking pattern is the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you could do that with your pick if you want. And you slide or move your 1st finger. A little tricky because you got to keep holding these two as you move. But again, like I like to go pick and finger on that. So with my 2nd finger, I pick the 1st string, 2nd string, and then I use my pick on the 3rd string. If some of you are just getting into hybrid picking, this might be a great little exercise or start for you to try doing this. See, for me, it's not really the sound I'm going for. It's just the matter of I'm thinking, what's the easiest way to play this? I'm thinking lazy, so what's the lazy way to play this? I don't want to go in there and pick each string and move with my guitar pick. You see, so I'm thinking I want to sit my hand in one spot. So I'm resting on these bass strings because I'm not playing them. So it's a great little place to plant my hand, rest. Again, thinking lazy, right? Now I can just sit there in one spot, do that, not have to move my hand. I can just concentrate on what I'm doing on this hand and trying to do this hard stretch and not have to worry about what I'm doing here. So that's the reason a lot of times I'll go to alternate picking, is just because it's easier. Okay, so from the start, you have so I think it's 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, moving your 1st finger just 1 fret. So you do that here, there, back. Okay, and then we're going to slide into the 9th fret. And then bar on the 7s on the 1, 2, and 3 strings. So the bar those 3, so you slide. And then we're going to pick upwards on these 3 strings. Okay, so you have sliding into 9, barring 7 on the first 3 strings, picking upwards, adding that one on the 9th fret, 4th string, and just playing chromatic. Now this riff really sounds harder than what it is, but because it's played so fast. So slowly again, you slide into the 9 on the first string, bar, pick up, words, add that one. You could end with a little bit of vibrato if you want, so a little faster. So when you're picking these strings that are barred here, don't be trying to alternate pick that or picking down, because you're going to make it harder than what it's supposed to be. It's much easier just to pick up on that. Now, so taking it from there, if you watch my right hand, I'll pick on the chromatic notes. You know, you could pick down if you want. Or if you want, you could alternate pick those. Whatever you feel comfortable on that. I'll kind of switch. Sometimes I'll pick down, or sometimes I'll alternate pick those. And you might have a little trouble, as you've seen I did there, getting that up stroke or the up picking there. I think it's just, you know, guys not used to picking that way all the time, so a little tricky. But the thing is, these notes are played so fast, so you're playing on each string, one hit, one hit, one hit. So the reason I'm saying pick upwards is that it's just quicker than coming in there and trying to pick some other pattern, okay? So you're sliding, picking down, your hand's down already. Now just come up. So the next part, so after this little slide, we're going to go to A. So here's our A on the 5th fret. We're going to bend here on the 7th fret. And play that riff twice. Okay, so we're going to bend 7, hit 5, do the same thing on the 2nd string. Now where our 3rd finger is, we're going to go to the 4th string and do a little double stop. So we're hitting the 2nd and 3rd string on the 5th fret. So we're going here, barring these two on the 2nd and 3rd string, and hammering on right beside it on the 3rd string. Okay, so again, slowly. So from the start. And then again. Now we're going to try to copy that and go to E and play that. So I came up with this little version, which is bending in the 2nd fret on the 1st and 2nd string. Then I thought, okay, we have the double stop hammer on, twinning kind of sound. Do that here. In E would be hammering on that single note, but then hit the 2nd string open to get 2 strings ringing again. So we have 2nd fret, and that's just the note off your E chord. Okay, so we have. Now if you're having trouble bending here, again, it's just a slight bend. You could push with your 3rd finger and have the 2 fingers in front and push with all 3. And then keep your 3rd finger there to hit this note. Or use your second finger. Now you could play this twice like we did A twice, so if you want to keep it easy as possible. But what I did was I did a little kind of bass, or I want to call it a bass run. I threw that little part in there. So once I would go. Now instead of doing that again, I'm going to go to this. So you could throw this in if you want, or you could just repeat this open riff twice. Or so let me show you what I'm doing here. So we're doing a hammer on, playing underneath. Okay. That's what I was trying to show you. Come back up. Now let's throw a little slide here. And you can do your own little version of those notes, whatever you think fits, but again, that's something I might play a little bit different each time. Might hit this one once, I might hit this one twice. But again, you know, if that's too much for you, don't like that part, then just do this riff twice. And that'll sound just fine. Okay, now here's the sliding part. We're playing on the first string, 7th fret, second string, 9th fret. So here's our little chord. Now we're going to slide that, keeping the same spacing to the 12th fret, so we're playing 12 and 14. Now these two notes, or the spacing on this little chord, is going to stay the same all the time when you hit the 12th fret. It's only going to change here, okay? So we have this, you want to alternate pick, so down, up, down, up. Now we're going to switch this little chord and we're going to play these two notes. So here's our next little chord. Back to the 12. Now here's our E. So off of the E chord, we're going to play the second and third notes, not the first string. So you don't have to bar this, you can lift off, because there would be our E, like our F slid here to the 12th fret. So we just play those two notes. Okay, so we have coming from here. And we're going to add this note and that note on the same string. So 11 and 14 on the 4th string. So we have. Okay, so from the start on that, you just have, and then switch, stopping there, going to our little E2 notes. Now, to play it through the second time, instead of starting with these two notes, we're going to do the one side by side and start with those two. So the second time through, the E and the A. Stopping there, going to our E. There, now we're done. Now we're going to our B. To our A. Okay, so from the beginning, slowly. that part twice. Now starting with this, the notes side by side. Now we're done. Okay, so one thing about this song, if you're not used to the chord changes, make sure you have in your head when you're playing this stuff those chord changes. So it's E and A, E and A. So when I'm soloing all the way through here, I'm thinking of that, or I'm thinking one step ahead what the next chord is going to be. So it kind of makes sense when I'm soloing. So if anything, just sit there and play the rhythm and just get that in your head, the changes, you know. Now we're staying longer in E and longer in A. So really try to plant those changes in your head, and it'll make this soloing stuff so much easier on you when you're attempting to play this stuff. Okay, let's take a look at the next part. So we have these little twinning notes, or harmony notes, or bass notes if you want to call this. Okay, so that's the part we're going to go over now. So let me just show you the notes. And then here and here. And then here and here. So we have 2, 4, second and fourth frets, 4th and 5th fret, and then 5 and 7. This is sort of like a backwards power chord. Your power chord would be like that, but we're playing it this way. And then these two. And I'll just show that one more time slowly for you with this, just the single notes. There and there. Here and here. Here and there on the dots. So we have so you're picking down and you're just hitting each one twice. Then we go to A, move on the next set of strings, do exactly the same thing. Of course, stopping right there when you change to the next chord. Okay, so you'd go E, A, E. Now, when you go to the E, A again, you play in there twice as long, because remember when you played the main rhythm, you do it twice. Okay, so you go 2, 2, and then when you come back up to E, I meant to say you hit it 4 times again. So 2, 2, now 4, and 4. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to do 2s. Now for the 4s, we're just going to extend this because we have more time here now in E. Okay, so we're going to take that further. So let me show you that. So you start it the same. Now you just slide to the next dots, holding the same position. And then now we're going to play the 2 notes side by side with our first finger on the 9th fret. And come back. And stopping there before we go to our A. So then we're going to do that in E, and then the same thing in A. Back to E now. can change your strumming on these a little bit. So I'll go. I'll add a little on that last one. You know, so it's up to you what you want to do, but you can just keep it with the same 2 hits if you want. Now that's on one version of Honky Tonk. You know, there's a million different versions of this song, faster, slower. You know, there's Honky Tonk Part 1, Part 2. So this is just one of the versions where they threw this in. Now, if you don't like this, don't play it. You know, if you like certain parts that I'm showing you, well then repeat some of those parts. You know, or the harder ones, don't struggle with them on all these little solo parts I'm showing you. You know, you can just totally eliminate them and just play your favorite ones. So maybe you like this, maybe you find this easy. Well, play this a few times. Let's say, for an example, you really like this part. Well, you could start out playing that, but then repeat it, you know, a minute or two later in the backing track. So there's nothing wrong with repeating stuff when you're practicing like this. So don't be scared to just pick out the parts you like and the parts you don't like. But I thought this sounded really neat over the, when you have that going and this going. I thought they fit really well together. So I'm going to play this for you slow one last time here, right from the start. So if you're playing along, here we go. So instead of doing a B version of that, I just went to the normal, just to break out of all those low notes and play something higher sounding. So that's what I'm doing for B. Or you could go, I think that's actually what I played. Okay. Now here's some extra riffs that I made up. So we're going to start here in E. Okay, so we're starting here on the 9th fret, hammering onto 11. So that's basically the start or the main part of the riff. And you can vamp on that a bit. Now, we're going to add one more here and bend that one. And come back to our root note, to our E here. Slide to 14 on the 2nd string to 12. And come back to our bend. Now you can come up with your own little combination of the way you play this, or your own little style. You want to do 1 bend, 2, 3, whatever you like to do. Do your little slide, come back. And then I was playing 12 and 15. And bending that 15, the note on the 15th fret on the 2nd string. So hitting the 1st string and then 2nd. And then doing a little slide here. So I'll slide. Now double stops on the 2nd and 3rd string. So that is just, so hitting these two, one here, and then another double stop here with these two notes. Now back. You can go back to that. Now I threw another one in here, bending the 15th on the 15th fret. So we're going 15, 12. So, okay. We're going to go 15, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, and come back. And we're always coming back to that 12. So we got now, depending on your guitar, that might be hard to play, or you might not be used to playing, or you might not be able to stretch with your pinky that far, but depends how close your frets are. So slowly. Okay, here's another part. This would be sort of my impression of the horn section on one of the versions of Honky Tonk. Again, there's a million different versions of this song. Now, when you're playing these riffs and learning this, if there's certain riffs that you don't like, just don't learn them and don't play them. You can repeat a lot of this stuff to my backing track. So, for example, let's say you didn't like the one part where we're playing these bass notes. If you don't like that, don't learn it. Don't put it in there. You know, you can play something else. So this is my impression of the little horn section. So we have, I'm just going to play that same little riff all the way through the chords, through the E and A twice. So we're starting here on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and I'll just slide into it. Little hammer on, pull off, go to the 4th string on that same fret here. Then I'm going here to an A9. And then I'm coming back, going to an E9. So you start out with the A9. You're barring all 3 strings, skipping 1 string, adding your 2nd finger, and now the string between, you're playing here on the 11th fret, so you're only strumming the ones you're holding. So there's your A9. Now to play your E9, it's like a D chord on the 12th fret with your 3rd finger, and we're just going to move that up 2 steps and add our pinky on the 2nd string in the 12th fret. And again, we're just going to play the ones we're holding. So we have and then after that you can go to your normal B and A. Okay, so let me do that one more time. Now the last riff, I was basically trying to show little bends here on the 12th fret on the second and first string. So we have, starting with our main little part, or so I'm bending that one. You could just do that bend if you want. And come back and bend there. Or you can put the two together with, you know, you wouldn't think normally of bending those two strings in the key of E. So that's what I kind of made up here, and just something really easy, but just something a little bit different and maybe out of place. So give that a try.